Let's give it up for Nikki and Melissa.
Preparing homemade pretzels. You've seen it, you smell it, and you probably already love it.
Discover the pretzel's twisted history, drool over its salty recipe, and enjoy its crunchy importance.
So now we're going to talk about a little bit more of the history of the pretzels. So what are pretzels? Pretzels are a type of baked bread, and they come from a dough, and they're usually knot up into a unique form. Pretzel's origin started way back in Europe. It is said that it started on the monasteries because, according to an article of the Science and Technology, an Italian monk was the one who invented it, and he gave the pretzels to his students as a reward for learning their prayers. So pretzels have like a religious significance. However, there are other stories that says that pretzels started in France or also in Germany. The first illustration of the pretzels could be seen in a manuscript called Hortus Delicarium, and that's an image of the first illustration, and you can see that the pretzel is right in front of the king.
In 1800s, the pretzel was first introduced in the U.S. Pennsylvania was brought first by German immigrants, and now in the 20th century, it has expanded all over the United States, and 80% of the pretzels made today are made in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania is considered the birthplace of pretzels.
And also in the 1850s, the USA started making the hard pretzels and also the stick pretzels, because these pretzels lasted longer if they were kept in an airtight container, and they were part of like best-selling snacks. Pretzels were also religiously significant, as I already said, and for the Catholic Church, they were also very important because pretzels were the only things that they ate during Lent or Easter times, because during Lent you cannot eat like complex food like meat or butter or milk. So they just ate the pretzels, which were just made of flour, water, and salt. So now we're going to tell you some fun facts about pretzels. So now pretzels can come in a variety of sizes and shapes. You can see very big pretzels, very small pretzels, hard pretzels, soft pretzels, pretzels tied in like a knot, or stick pretzels, and they also come with a variety of seasonings like cinnamon, sugar, chocolate glaze, or nuts. And usually like the soft pretzels can be dipped in liquid cheese or mustard. And also the shape, as I already said, is religiously significant because the knot represents hands in prayer.
The word pretzel comes from different sources. Nobody really knows when it started originally, but it may come from the German name Brezel, or Latin Bracillus, which means bracilla, or from braciola, which means little arms. It also is a sign of good luck and spiritual wholeness. The three holes that you can see means the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Okay, so now we're gonna show you how to make homemade pretzels. So the ingredients you need are milk or water. You need a packet of yeast, salt, and coarse salt, which is like the bigger one. You also need sugar, flour, and some recipes use the baking soda, or a later part we're gonna teach you that. Or like we have cola, we have baking powder. Yes. So the recipe. First of all, you need 2 bowls bowls. In one bowl, you need to put the dry ingredients, which are the flour,
You put 1 cup of flour.
1 cup, yeah. The salt,
Put 1 teaspoon of salt. For you guys, these are 2 recipes. We're doing one kind and here's another.
oh, and also the butter, which 2 tablespoons of butter. And on the other bowl, you need to put the water, like 1 cup of water, in the other bowl. A teaspoon of yeast. And you need to mix it. Here, with your finger.
That's hygienic. Oh, I'll eat that.
You have to let that rest for about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, you mix the flour and salt together. Once you have mixed it well, and with the butter, after you've waited for 10 minutes, you put the liquid ingredients in here.
And then you let it rest for another 30 minutes.
Until you see like a spongy, bubbly stuff on top, which is the yeast activating. After that, once it's all dry and you put it together, it will come to be a dough like this. You can pass it around. You can open it if you want to. You don't need it. Once you have that done, you cut it in little pieces, and then you roll it out with the roller thingy, and then you make a pretzel shape. And then you put it in the oven until you see it's brown on top. And then it will come out to look like this.
And then, like for example, some people before put it into the oven, they dip the pretzel in baking soda and with water to add the salt. But we didn't do that because we didn't have the baking soda. And you can also make it like different sizes. And we did it smaller, so it came really small.
In Germany, it's more than just a snack like in the US. It's more like a typical food. And especially in Germany, Australia, and Switzerland. Yeah. And in Switzerland, it's a sign of marriage, and it's tradition that when they're getting married, they pass a big pretzel, not cooked yet, and then they both tie it together, which means commitment, and now they're one together.
And also they're very important nowadays because, or like back then also, because they were part of many festivals. For example, during Christmas, some countries in the US, they make the pretzels, then they cover it with chocolate and they decorate it like that picture. And also in Austria, they make pretzels and they hang it on trees. And also in Germany, pretzels are very important because they, as Nicky said, they symbolize like good luck or good fortune. So the 1st of January, they usually bake and eat it. And also, some countries in Europe have different traditions. For example, during Easter, they tend to hide the pretzels of an egg hunting, of the egg Easter hunt.
And here's what I said that means prosperity in marriage. And in Luxembourg, it's the Pretzel Sunday. One Sunday every year, They make pretzels, and then the boyfriends give it to their girlfriends. And depending on the size of the pretzel, means how much they love them. And here's the video.
This is a commercial from one of the most famous brands.
Snyder's of Hanover pretzels have been shared across generations, shared among families, and shared throughout the country, making us America's pretzel. After all, best eggs in life are made to be shared. Snyder's of Hanover.
So, in conclusion, majority of people love pretzels because you can eat it with anything, really. And it's one of the best-selling snacks in the U.S. and in Germany. And so, as you can see, we made our own, so you guys can try it out.
But this is like our second try because the first try came out horrible.
That's why it's important to know the ingredients.
And follow us. Oh, Nikki. Nikki. And also Anna and Nikki's brother helped us make the pretzels. Anna made us help the first pretzels and they came out horrible.
Okay, thank you very much.